Welcome to Marketecture, where you could get smart fast with interviews with leading technology vendors. I'm Ari Paparo. I'm here with Amnon Siev, the CEO of GeoEdge. Amnon, thanks for being here.
Pleasure to meet you, Ari.
Did I pronounce your name properly?
Yeah, it's unknown, but that's fine.
Amnon. So tell us about GeoEdge. What do you do? Where you're based? Maybe the size of the company? Basic info.
We are a cybersecurity company helping online publishers and online ad platform to make sure that the ads that are delivering in the advertising ecosystem are safe and engaging for the end user. We're based in Tel Aviv. We're founded 10 years ago and about 70 employees globally.
Great. So 10 years, you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what the product does. Security means a lot of things in the advertising world. Take us through your basic use case and customers.
So when you think today on how basically an online ad is displayed to a user, there is an auction that happened in the background, and essentially there is an ad that coming from a third party or fourth party or fifth party. Essentially, the ad itself, the campaign itself that is being delivered to the end user was not vetted, it was not reviewed by the publisher. And from a technical perspective, you have a third-party code that is running on the website. And this third-party code can do many things. It can do legitimate things like tracking the user or do a different measurement. But because it's basically a code, it can also do a malicious activity. And we are here in order to make sure that those third-party codes are basically safe to the end user. We also need to remember that essentially the user can click on the ad. And when they're clicking on the ads, they're being basically redirected into a landing page, which again, no one control beside the advertiser. And both the ad as well as the landing page can be a very compelling attacking vector for malicious actors. And we are basically protecting users against this kind of attacks.
So your customer is the publisher?
There could be the publishers or the ad tech platform vendors that basically mediate between the publisher and the advertisers.
So let's go through one at a time. So let's go through the publisher use case first. So the value is that you're protecting the end user on the publisher's website and thereby protecting the publisher's reputation and all sorts of good things. How does the tech work? Is it client side or server side? And how does it detect these bad ads?
Yeah, so essentially we have a piece of code that runs on the publisher website. And if you want this piece of code, create like a sandbox around each one of the ad units. So we are basically proactively looking for all the ad placement on the page. And once the code identifies an ad placement, it basically creates a sandbox. And any technical resource that is being loaded by the ad code is reviewed by our code. And we are making sure that this code is safe. And when we find code that doesn't meet, the safety threshold or that looks suspicious, we are basically terminating the execution of the ad and loading the replacement ad instead.
Okay, for less technical listeners, what does that mean? Like, what's a resource that an ad shouldn't be accessing?
Well, when the ad is basically being loaded to the user, we try to do many stuff. Okay, right. And there are things that are okay, that are legit that the ad will do, and there are things that doesn't make sense. Okay, and so we're basically monitoring again from a technical perspective the different activities and the different behavior that the ad is trying to do. If we see that some of this behavior doesn't meet what we believe that is a legitimate action that an ad will do, then we are assuming that this ad is suspicious, and basically we will terminate this code to make sure that the user is not at risk.
Right. So examples would be forwarding the browser to a different URL,
exactly.
Opening the App Store, changing the frame.
Exactly. That's a very legitimate example. So one of the attacks that we see before the user interacts with the ad, that the user is forced to redirect to another page. So from the user perspective, a new tab will be open and he will basically find himself in a different website. And that's, of course, not something that, that a normal ad can do. And that's, of course, a very suspicious activity. And in 99.9% of the cases, that will probably be an attempt to do some kind of a malicious activity.
Thanks for listening. To hear the complete interview, subscribe at marketecture.tv.